Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. We all know the maxim, war is deception. But it seems that Israel has taken this to a whole new, dumber level. I apologize to the brain cells that you're going to lose by watching this. And according to Israel, even if you did lose them, who cares? Because Israel has a right to defend itself. Even against brain cells.
Astaghfirullah. When we say that Hamas instills hate towards Jews and the state of Israel, we're not just saying it. Take a look at this book, for example, Anatomy and Physiology. So what would you expect to read about in this book? Stuff about anatomy and physiology. So you open the first page, it's a cover page, and look at the second page right here. Dedication. We dedicate this work to the souls of the Palestinian martyrs who sacrificed their blood for Palestine and Al-Aqsa. So this book is dedicated to the terrorists and to the martyrs who committed terror attacks in Israel against innocent Jewish people. How do you expect to have peace when every single book that we find is dedicated to these martyrs, to these terrorists? That's when we say we have to get rid of Hamas. This is the reason why.
So as you guys saw, this is definitely the topmost, I would say definitely in the top 3 dumbest things that they've done, yeah? So let's analyze this. The paper that he's referring to, as you guys can see, it has 3 folds in it.
Oops!
And the only way those folds can be done is if that paper was indeed separated from the book. And let me show you. Paper, you bend it 1, bend it again twice, bend it again 3 times. Has to be separate for you to be able to do this, mate. Conclusion, it was a separate page, most likely kept in someone's pocket, hence why folded, and then it was stuck on because it was supposed to be some cheap, rubbish PR stunt. Number 2, the separation of the page from the spine becomes clear, as we can see from the still, and it seems in some places it is becoming unstuck. Conclusion, it was a separate bit of paper that was stuck in.
Oops!
Number 3, the author of the book was a doctor. But if we read the text that they have us believe that he wrote, look at that. They want us to believe he can't spell the word sacrifice. But as we learnt from the calendar guy, the only person that struggles to read and write, we know it is more likely that this was written by an illiterate Israeli soldier.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Number 4, it says souls of martyrs. But we as Muslims believe that when somebody dies in the path of Allah and becomes a martyr, they are not dead.
Yes. In
fact, the Quran clearly says, don't say they are dead, nay, they are alive by Allah. How are they alive? In a matter that we don't know. Who would miss something so obvious?
Israel has a right to defend itself.
Dopey here is concluding that all the martyrs of Palestine are Hamas. In other words, he's dehumanizing everybody in Palestine because, as the world rhetoric goes,
Israel has a right to defend itself.
Against Hamas, it's Israel versus Hamas, Hamas. That's why if you can prove that everybody who dies, everybody who's fighting there is Hamas, then dehumanized, and you can get rid of them, mate. I can go on, obviously, yeah, but I'm gonna leave it there because that's enough food for thought. Seeing this guy, like I said, reminded me of the illiterate calendar guy. You know, the guy who rose to fame because he claimed to find a terrorist list, but it ended up being the days of the week. This guy, either they're related, they're cousins, brothers, you know, inbreeding going on there. Who knows, mate? But either way, thank you for providing me with this comedy, because frankly, I needed a laugh. These soldiers are so dopey, yeah? If they're not struggling to read or write, they are consciously filming each other having what can only be described as an aneurysm. And you know what? Don't stop making these videos, because when Americans see where their tax dollars are going, boy, they not happy.
Because this is what our tax dollars is paying for?
Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.